Full screen. Now, liver transplant versus resection in a resectable HCC. So, Dr. Amardeep showed how you can actually resect a HCC, or liver cancer. But in liver cancer, is resection the ideal treatment? Well, yes, if the liver is good, non-cirrhotic, yes, definitely resection is probably the better variety of treatment. But if liver is bad, cirrhotic, then don't take chance. Better to offer them transplant as the first primary modality if they have a good donor. If the tumor is not advanced, well, if the tumor is not advanced, that is, if it is less than 5 centimeter in size, or if it comes within Milan criteria, then results are excellent. You can have literally 90 to 95% success rate. But if liver tumor is outside UCSF, which is still bigger criteria, so these are the two criteria which are actually followed all over the world. But in India, we take any tumor in the liver of any size, provided it has not gone out of the liver. Now let's see what are the results with this. Before that, why LT? That is the pertinent question. The underlying disease gets cured, a patient who is sick becomes energetic, aggressive, there is a better oncological clearance because the entire tumor is removed, and also it allows a good pathological staging so that you know that what is the prognosis. Now you should do LT because these tumors are in a bad liver are multicentric. 80% of liver cancers which are more than 5 centimeter in size, if you look at the explanted liver, you will find that there are a lot of undiscovered tumor specks, tumor spots. So if you had done a small resection, you would have actually left behind a lot of uncured tumor. If there are more than 2 nodules, there is a 65 to 70% chance that there are missed nodules in the remaining liver if you do a resection. And especially in hepatitis B, de novo malignancy occurs. Now if you look at survival, you can see that post liver resection at 3 years, this is for small tumors, in a resectable liver, in a good quality, good child's a person, you can see that 3-year disease-free survival is only 40%. But on the other hand, a sick patient who is not fit for resection, if you go ahead with liver transplant, the 3-year disease-free survival is 90%. So if you do this for tumors which are less than 5 centimeter, the cure rate is as high as 90%. There's hardly any malignancy which gives such good cure rates. For Whipple's, for carcinoma head of pancreas or periampullary, if you go ahead and do resections, there's hardly 40-50% survival rate. But liver cancers give you 90% survival rate. If the tumors are big, that is outside UCSF or more than 8-10 centimeter in size, then the cure rate falls down to about 65 to 70%, but still that is a huge cure rate. So with that, I hand it over to Dr. Vishwaroop Pal for the rest.
No, thank you actually, Bala and Amardeep. Now, on behalf of our team from Yashoda Hospital, thank you for giving us this opportunity to, share our thoughts regarding patients who can benefit from liver transplantation. We'll be glad to answer any questions. And
thank you, sir.
So thank you for a very nice and elaborate presentation. My question is, when we go for transplantation, what usually is the source? Cadaver or relation? And how frequently or how easily the source of cadavers is available? And if it is of a relation donor, what parameters do we check in? And the success rate, does it differ with the cadaver or relative, or it is same both?
Bala, would you like to take the question?
Sorry, I heard only half the question.
Let me repeat.
No, it's okay. I think I got the gist of the question.
So my question precisely was the source of the organ. is it always from donor or cadavers? Cadaver are the relative donors? And if it is cadaver, what is the status in India? How fast do we get it? What is the waiting time? Is there any change in survival rate from a donor, a cadaver donor or a relative donor?
Well, an interesting question which actually would be in the minds of, I am sure, the entire audience. Now, cadaveric donations are picking up all over India, especially in the southern states. In our Hyderabad, in fact, in our own hospitals, the Yashoda Group has 3 hospitals altogether with a bed strength of nearly 2,000. There is a donation rate which is about 6 per month. In Chennai, the entire Chennai last year there were about nearly 100 plus donations. Hyderabad is picking up, similarly Bangalore is picking up, Karnataka. But unfortunately North, still the donation rates are extremely low. It's not that people are not aware. But yeah, slowly it is picking up. So ideal would have been a cadaveric donation because there is no living donor involved. But unfortunately, since there is limitation of organs in India, and since, as I was showing, realistically you need easily 25,000 transplants a year, and the organ donations are hardly 200 to 250. So the only way to match it is do living donor. Now living donor, in fact I had a lot of slides, but due to shortage of time couldn't go on to it. For living donor, living donor surgery, you have to offer patients who are sick and who can't wait for a cadaveric organ. Cadaveric organ depends, if it is AB positive, generally they get it fast. But if a patient is say O positive, has relatively bad disease, his child's or male score is very poor, then he can't, or if he has a liver cancer, then he can't wait for the organ to come. So in those situations, it's better to offer them a living donor transplant. So living donor transplant actually needs a little different sort of training. The surgeon should be well versed in donor hepatectomies and ideally should have done at least about 100 plus donor hepatectomies before you start doing it independently. Cadaver, I hope it picks up so that the trauma of a living donor surgery to the family can be avoided.
Generally, what is the waiting time in India, in south and in north? Suppose you book somebody for a transplant.
In North India, it's very, very dismal. I was working in Medanta till recently, that is in New Delhi. And in such a big hospital, the cadaveric donation rate was only 1 per year out of nearly 350 transplants. It's too dismal to even mention. And yes, Army hospital there was doing a little more. But overall, monthly donations were not more than 2 or 3. But it has picked up in South. But as I said, you can't set any time limit. It all depends on the patient's luck and the blood group. AB positive generally get it quite early, within a month or 2. But other groups, it's risky if the patient has severe disease to actually wait for the organ. So offer them living donor right from the onset. And if they don't have donors, if they're not ready with money, and if they are waiting, yes, if they get...
Hello?
Yes.
Estimate of
Expense.
many times when the patient for donation, for the liver transplant, so initially 4 years back the cost was very high. I received a statement from a hospital that deposit 40 lakhs in advance before we could even think of that.
Well, I don't think it was 40 lakhs ever. But on an average, presently the cadaveric packages are about 25 lakhs. 22 to 25 I would say. Living donor is a bit cheaper. It varies from hospital to hospital. It's between 18 to 21 lakhs. 21 to 22 lakhs. Living donor is cheaper because you need lesser preservative fluids and it is rather everything is well controlled. Cadaveric needs more preservative fluids, you need to maintain the organ, you need to maintain the cadaver, so that's a little more expensive.
Due to constraint of time, if there are any more questions after this session, Dr. Bala can take those questions. Is that okay with the audience?
Thank you, sir.
Dr. Bala,
Thank you for your cooperation. Just because of constraint of time, we are restricting just one or two questions. Now, I would request our CMO ma'am to please come and honor our panelists with a small token of love. Dr. Balchandran. Dr. Pal, Vishwarup Pal. And Dr. Amardeep Yadav. Sir, actually, we are honored to have you here. It's our pleasure to listen to you